So hello and welcome to another episode of Old Bloke Gaming. Today, as you can see, we are back on Cyrene. Finally made it back after all the distractions. We are back at it, and yeah. So I've done a couple of the ranges today. Not as many as I would have liked. I've got to get back into the habit of following that chat more closely. Um, Done the Panaleon daily with the 18 dudes. I actually had a +2 ped on that. Um, and then so after the after the ammo, it was like 3.5 ped win today. I've also had a couple of globals since I've been here. So it's been a good day, as you can see at the top here. We're just about to go under 100, so that's always a good thing when you're, you know, over 100 on a few kills. Starts the day well. So what are we doing now? We've gone back to the Tide Claws. I do want to at some point go back and get my Earth Shock. These things die without me taking any damage, so I'm going to go get my Earth Shock and bring it back here, just to give me the extra damage. And yeah, so we're off. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today was I had a long conversation with one of my channel members earlier, and we were talking about you know how to pace yourself, what to focus on, those types of things. And a lot of people ask the same question. It's like, it doesn't matter if you depot one, 100, 500, at some point you have to figure out what you're doing with your depot to get the most out of it. And if you just basically depot $100 and just run into the wild and start shooting, you are going to burn through that $100 relatively quickly. I mean, it depends how much you play as to how quickly you burn through it, but you will burn through it quite quickly. And so you should always be thinking about short term and long term goals. And as I was saying today, it's like, you know, what you want to be doing is you want to be, progressing your character or doing things that get you closer to being more effective or efficient in whatever it is you want to do. So if you're mining, you want to be working towards getting better mining gear. If you're hunting, you want to be working towards getting better hunting gear. And I mean, you can always sell that gear, right? So, I got a set of incision plates, and I've still got six of them. I've sold two or three over the couple of years, and every time you sell one, yeah, you make a little bit of a profit, um, but you were going to use it anyway, and I think that's part of the game. I mean, even with this gun, right? So I bought this gun 2 years ago. I'm trying to sell it, but if I don't sell it, I'm still using it. I'm still using it all the time. It's still a very efficient gun, and it does me well. So I'm not in a rush to get rid of it. And if you're not in a rush to get rid of it, then you've got the patience and you can take your time to get to where you want to go. Um, just a moment. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, because again, this the the member that I was talking to, they were just asking me. It's like, you know, okay, you're back to Siren. What exactly did you do? And it's like, I do what I talk about and what I say I'm doing. Um, just a minute. Sorry, my son came home. Yeah, so yeah, I do what basically I do a similar thing. I have a set ritual. If I'm on Calypso, my ritual is check the dailies. If I get a bonus daily, do that. I do Alice's mission, and then I just chill out and talk to people. I typically don't do any sweating. I might, if I'm bored, go do some primordial longu hunting, just because they've been pretty good to me and they get codex gains. Um, but for the most part, that's all I'm doing and all I have kind of time to do on a daily basis. Same here. It's like I've got the missions that I do. I do the eight. I do the 18 Panaleons. Then I go and do the alphas. So there's a daily alpha where you kill eight to get the token, but I actually kill usually enough to get the 200 to do the Zin mission in the rookie training area. And I hand those in. And then if I have spare time after that, there's a Tide Claw timed daily, which I go do, which gives just a tad of courage when you complete it. It's only like 10 of them or something like that. And then I come here and I beat up on these things for the remainder of whatever I've got on the day, um, unless there's something else I fancy doing. But for the most part, I'm trying to hit a pristine. If somebody wants to come on and tell me that these guys don't drop pristines, that would be great. I've not seen one. I'm hoping one day I'll land one. It'll get me a step closer. Um, but I think the Panaleons, the ones that I have to kill are too big, so I'm worried that these are just not big enough. But they're just small enough. They're slow enough. So anyway, I'll kill for a bit, and if I still haven't landed one in another couple of weeks, I'll probably call it and try and find something else to do. But anyway, I'm still trying to find out, and if anybody knows for sure if you can or can't get get pristines from these providers, it'd be great to know. It would be really good to know. So you'd be doing me a solid. Um, and then, as I said, it's the long term plans that are more important rather than the short term day to day. It's like, why are you doing what you're doing? I mean, he was commenting about skill gains. It's like, well, once I'm efficient with my gun, it's like skill gains don't really mean anything. And the first thing is you can't avoid the spend going into skill gains. You just can't turn that off. But the second thing is you don't really want to, because especially when you're starting off in the game, the creatures that you're killing are not really dropping anything with particularly good markup. I mean, even if you go take fouls, you might get some tier one components, you might get some bits and pieces, but they're not going to make up in markup what you're losing in, up here in decay. They're just not. Um, by the way, I've got ammo at 100% in here. I should probably put it back to 101. But anyway, um, so you're just not going to make it back from those small monsters. What you need to be doing is having a long-term plan. Um, and oh, the other thing I do when I'm on here is I go and do the stalker bots, miner bots. So the ones basically in the instance towards getting the rucksack. But yeah, just small distraction. But I just remembered I forgot to tell you that that is what I do. So yeah, it's more about having a long term plan with where you're working towards hunting something that is desirable or items that contribute to things that are desirable. So hunting for items that are required in crafting weapons, you know, or maybe the amplifiers, the things that people are crafting and buying and selling on a regular basis with decent markup, people will pay markup for items for them. Um, I mean, look them up. I don't have a list to hand, but definitely things that you should be, trying to look up, trying to search, anything that contributes to the. Let me open my bag a sec. These things, the R matrix, laser guns, the R matrix amplifiers. You know, that's what people are crafting and selling at decent markup. Same for the accuracy and damage enhancers. Look for items that are contributing to those. And then, again, when you're buying and selling kit, it's a question of patience. It's a question of negotiation. You see somebody selling an item that you want to buy, say a ring, go buy that ring, but negotiate it down a little bit or try and get a little bit of trade in there. And then if somebody's looking to buy it, try and sell it at a higher price than you bought it for, and then go replace that item. You know, that's how you kind of make your way in the game. Just the general hunting. As you can see, I'm already down to 88%. This is, it's going to be same old, same old. I'm going to come out probably somewhere between 85 and 95 just because, you know, I don't know. It really is about having a long-term goal, because if all you are doing is running around shooting stuff randomly, you're going to use all your you're going to use all your ped, and you're going to get despondent. You're going to lose interest. Woo! You're going to get despondent. You're going to lose interest in the game. You're going to get frustrated. And I don't know what to say other than that. You've got to have a mission, underlying goal. Um, as I said, the first thing I did was the incision plates on Next Island. If I could go back and do it all again, would I? Probably not. Although, I see a lot of people here competing for the pristines. I don't see that many people competing for the super, for those lower end sinews on Next Island. So maybe you can go there, make a couple of level twos, and sell them for 350, something like that. Probably make them for 250. If you're able to hunt those chimeras, it really makes a big difference. And if you're able to hunt the Amazon legs as well, it makes a big difference. But go do it. Go hunt them. Go figure out how to, make some of these items that players are doing, that they're looking for. And then the last thing I was thinking about was, you know, what could what could Mindark do to make this game a little bit more accessible? And I was thinking about this earlier, and I was chatting to this other guy, and one of the things that this game does really poorly is growth into items. So, because the like the crit range and is only potentially a 5% gain, right? The Just the difference between 1 and 5 is not that big. You know, for example, my ghost armor, I went out and got a set of ghost armor for what, 350, something like that back in the day. I've had it forever. It's like, what do I want after ghost armor? Honestly, until I get to some of the big boy armor. There's not a lot in between that gives me anything that really makes that much of a difference. So, the game is not really designed for, micro steps in progression. It's really designed for major steps, and I just don't think that works very well, because it doesn't give you the progression in buying and selling from a lower end player to a higher end player, right? There's not the in between desirable items. I mean, ideally, what you would have is you would have, an item that costs a couple of hundred ped. Then the next version of it would be maybe 500 ped. Then the next version 1,000 ped. Then the next version would be 1,500, and then various guys would get on that escalator, and you could always keep selling that next layer down to buy the next layer up. But I just feel the jumps are so big in this game that the investment required to make one of those jumps really means that you either sit at that lower end and sit with those lower cost items forever, you know, or you spend the big bucks and switch out, and then one of those lower end items becomes available again. I don't know. I'm not. That's one thing I'm not a huge fan of. I'm sure there's a better way to do progression in this game, um, and I hope at some point that's one of the items that gets addressed, because it would make a massive difference to the game if there was a more, you know, staged progression, which was more like this instead of like, you know, where that just, yeah. I just think it's too big a step each step right now. Ugh, look at this. I'm down 50 ped now. These are not working out well. Oh well. Anyway, is what it is. I'm actually gonna have to think about what I'm gonna do next soon because I'm getting a little bit low on ped myself. Um, Obviously, there's no Black Friday sale, um, so that's a bit of a disappointment this year. Oh, is he blocked behind? You coming, babe? You coming? Ah, there we go. He's coming. Yeah, there's no Black Friday sale this year, so um, I was waiting to see if I could get maybe a little bit of money off through that, but that's not going to happen. So I just need to get back. I haven't been cycling my shrapnel recently because I wanted to build a war chest because I want to go after an Easter 2025 or a Halloween 2022 the moment I see one. So I've been building up a little bit of a war chest waiting for that. So I am trying to convert shrapnel to cash at the moment. But so I'm going to probably do that, maybe open some boxes. I think I still have some Halloween boxes kicking around. I'd love to convert those and try Easter boxes and try my chance at Easter boxes. But Easter boxes are 2 ped each. And it just seems like a lot. It really seems like a lot. Making that back would be a real challenge. The Halloween boxes that I opened, by the way, because I sold everything and I got a pretty reasonable price on most of the things I sold. Um, Actually, I did make my money back on the 0.7 I spent per box. So I may just go ahead and do that again and see if I get lucky and crack a glass cannon, which I'm not going to do. I mean, let's be real. That's not going to happen. But yeah, I might try and do that at some point and just have a look, and I'll probably pop some boxes again. Make a vid, pop some boxes, make a bid, make a vid. That was not a bad one there. Made a little bit back up to 84. Anyway, so I'm probably going to leave it there for now. I'm going to hunt these things for a little while, probably until I run out of ped. How close am I to running out of ped? Ooh, pretty close. Ugh, that's not good. I can convert. Um, uh, Bone and meat. They dropped a few, so I guess I'm on a not a too bad. So I think those bone and meat still sell, do they? I haven't tried for a while. They're required for the healing device. Oops, let's take you. Yeah, they're required for the healing device. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. The button's up there. And if you enjoyed the video, please go watch another video, which I think is over there somewhere. And I will see you in another video soon. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend. Bye bye for now.